Beyond every illusion lies a deeper truth. Welcome to Beyond the Illusion with the R-TisT-O. Welcome to episode 10, Beyond the Illusion. Once again, thank you for listening. When I first started learning magic, I thought the secret were the most important part, the hidden methods, the impossible techniques, the mystery behind the tricks. But the longer I researched magic, the more I realized something surprising. The secret was never the methods, it was the feeling of wonder, the moment people stop thinking logically for just a second and experienced something impossible. Over the years, magic introduced me to much more than tricks. It introduced me to storytelling, psychology, human behavior, imagination. It introduced me to people, different reactions, different beliefs, and different ways human beings experience mystery. Some people laughed, some became silent, and some became emotional. And some truly believe they witnessed something beyond explanation. But maybe that's why illusions have survived for so long, because deep down, people still want wonder in their lives. Looking back now, I realize magic was teaching me lessons long before I understood them. Not only about illusions, but about people, how attention works, how emotion changes perceptions, how easily the mind can overlook what's directly in front of it. But maybe the biggest lesson was understanding the importance of wonder. Because of people grow older, life slowly becomes more predictable. Responsibilities grow, stress grows, imaginations become quieter. And that's why illusions matter. Not because people truly believe in magic powers, but because for a few moments, wonder returns. I've seen it happen in a spectator's faces, the silence after an impossible moment, the confusion, the laughter, that brief moment where adults feel like children again. And honestly, I think the world needs more of that feeling. More imagination, more curiosity, more mysteries. Because not everything meaningful needs to be completely explained. Sometimes the experience itself is enough. When I think back on all the years around magic, the tricks themselves are not always what I remember most. What stays with me are the moments, the reactions, the laughter, the silence after an impossible illusion. A spectator staring at their own hand in disbelief, someone questioning what they just witnessed, or a person feeling wonder for the first time in years. And maybe that's the true purpose of illusions, not to fool people, but to give them the experience they can carry with them long after the moment ends. Because eventually, every performance ends, every trick is put away, and every stage becomes quiet again. But the feeling remains, wonder remains, inspiration remains, the memory remains. And honestly, that may be the real secret behind magic. Not the gimmicks, not the sleight of hands, but the ability to create a feeling powerful enough to stay with another human being. Looking back now, magic didn't only teach me about illusion, it taught me about imagination, storytelling, people, and the importance of leaving something meaningful behind. Because long after the illusion fades, what truly remains is the legacy we leave behind. And as I close season one down, looking back on my journey with magic, I realized it was never only about tricks, it was about experiences, moments, feelings that stayed with me long after the performance ended. Some of the greatest memories come from simply sitting in an audience, waiting for the curtains to rise, the excitement of entering a theater, finding your seats, watching the lights, dim down, and knowing that for the next hour or so, you were about to experience something impossible. And honestly, that feeling is difficult to describe unless you truly love magic. I traveled to shows whenever I had the chance, watched many performances in Las Vegas, studied magic, visited magic shops, collected tricks, books, and memories, and got accepted to the IBM International Brotherhood of Magicians. I remember over 20 years ago when I first wanted to join, someone had to write a recommendation letter. Afterwards, you receive a certificate, a pen, and a membership card. Of course, life had its turns, and I let several years lapse, meaning you pay an annual subscription. And it's well worth it because you get a monthly magazine, a very nice magazine full of knowledge every single month. And I believe even free or discounted tickets to the Magic Castle in Los Angeles, where I haven't had the chance to visit yet. But not every experience becomes a magical memory. Sometimes disappointment becomes part of the journey too. I still remember arriving all excited to watch one of my favorite magicians perform. Yes, another Copperfield show, and this time it was in Sacramento, California. Only to discover the show had been canceled. I mean, here we are sitting in the audience on our seats, and someone comes on stage and says the show is canceled. And if you truly love magic, that feeling hits hard because you spend days looking forward to that experience. You oversell the show to your son, like myself, who I was taking my son with, who was only like 9 years old back then. You imagine and describe the illusions, the atmosphere, the feeling of seeing the impossible live. Then suddenly, the theater feels empty. And maybe that moment taught me something important. People remember how experiences make them feel. That's why great magicians matter, because years later, people may not remember every trick, but they remember the wonder, the excitement, the feeling of escaping ordinary life for a little while. And honestly, that's the kind of feeling worth leaving behind. Not only in magic, but in life itself. Eventually, both of my children began going with me to watch live magic shows. And hopefully, I left them with some feeling of wonder those performances once gave me. This is Beyond the Illusion with the R-TisT-O. And remember, long after the illusion fades, what remains is the legacy we leave behind. Create your legacy.